testimony, and I yield back.
Thank you, Ranking Member, and I now would like to turn to our witness, Secretary McMahon, and you'll have 5 minutes to deliver your opening remarks. You've submitted written testimony. It will be included in the full record, but we do recognize you and look forward to your comments.
Thank you very much. Chairman Adderholt, Ranking Member DeLauro, and distinguished members of the subcommittee, thank you for having me today to represent a department on a mission, its final mission, to wind down the Department of Education responsibly, cut waste, and give education back to the states, parents, and educators, all in a lawful fashion. With your partnership, the fiscal year 26 budget will take a significant step toward that goal. We seek to shrink federal bureaucracy, save taxpayer money, and empower states, who best know their local needs to manage education in this country. We have reviewed our programs and identified spending that does not fulfill the mandate of trust the American people have placed in President Trump. We've reduced a department that was overstaffed by thousands of positions, cut old contracts that were enriching private parties at taxpayer expense, suspended grants for illegal DEI programs, and now are putting forward a budget request that reduces department funding by more than 15%. At the same time, we're working to make American education great again. In our conversations with governors, teachers, and parents across the country, we hear calls for accountability and more local control. That's our goal, to give parents access to the quality education their kids deserve, to fix the broken higher education industry that has misled students into degrees that don't pay off, and to create safe learning environments for our students. We're holding institutions to account when they facilitate discriminatory or hostile environments on campus. A level playing field with limitless opportunity is a vision I think we all can share. Our budget reflects this vision. Its cuts reflect a bureaucracy that is getting out of the way, and its continuations and increases represent smart spending that will help improve student achievement, not serve bureaucratic interests. Our goal is clear: make education better, fairer, and more accountable by ending federal overreach and empowering families, schools, and states who best know the needs of their students. I'm eager to partner with you to make this vision of the future a reality and to ensure every child is part of it. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, and again, we appreciate your attendance here today before the subcommittee. The latest National Assessment of Education Progress report, our results are quite honestly pretty unacceptable. Too many students have fallen behind in basic subjects, and they have not realigned learning loss during the time of the pandemic. For the sake of students and their parents, I appreciate your call for bold change. As we re-examine our approach to education, I think it's important to recognize that we can appropriately limit the federal role in education while continuing support in key areas. As I mentioned earlier, schools near military installations and under-resourced rural schools. Could you talk to us a little bit about the department's plan to refocus on the core educational achievement while reducing the bureaucracy overall?
Sure. Well, I have, thank you very much. And I have really 3 priorities as the Secretary of Education, and that is to increase school choice, but I really want to focus everything we're doing, our competitive grants, on literacy. I think that is the absolute basis of what we need to do. We want to increase school choice for students so that we don't have children trapped in failing schools. And we want to return education to the states, and that's really our priority. So it's threefold and very simple. Let's focus on literacy. What we're seeing in those scores that you're talking about, Congressman Adderholt, is the failing of our students to learn to read. From 1st through 3rd grade, or pre-K into 3rd grade, you're learning to read. And after that, you are reading to learn. And if you cannot read, you cannot learn. And that is one of the reasons, I believe sincerely, that we have seen such decreases or failing in our schools because we are not teaching our children to read. We've lost the fundamental basics, and I want to see our schools return to the science of reading, which focuses on phonics, which focuses on understanding and fluency in reading. Because if we can get that right, I think we're going to see a great deal of improvement in our schools across our country. But we're not doing it, and I think there have been programs that have been tried with the best of intentions, but they've not succeeded. Here we are today with a Department of Education that was really stood up in 1980 by President Carter. We've spent over $3 trillion during that time, and every year we have seen our scores continue to either stagnate or fall. It is clear that we are not doing something right. We need a change. We need a shakeup. We need to do things differently than what we're doing, and let's get back and focus on what was successful. Let's focus on our public schools as well as charter schools, as well as other schools that can deliver homeschooling. The president is absolutely focused on making sure that children have the right to an education that is best for them, and that parents should be deciding where their children can go to school and get the best education. They should have those opportunities, whether they're private schools, charter schools, public schools, homeschooling. They need to have the choice so that they can succeed. I believe that parents know what's best for their children. I think that parents working with local educators, with local superintendents, can develop those programs for schools which will deliver the best results. The president and I certainly agreed that the best education is that is closest to the child. Who better to know and understand what a child's needs are than that teacher working in the classroom, than that parent in cooperation with the teachers in that classroom to help understand what that child needs. So clearly, my focus is definitely going to continue on bringing education closest to the states. And I, like you, Ranking Member DeLauro, am a product of public school systems. My parents had dreams for me as well. I was an only child, and they really wanted to make sure that I went to college and had the opportunity for the American dream. So I appreciate very much that background and where you were coming from as well. Thank you very much.